Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's class is the histology of vermiform appendix. We are doing the histology of the GIT. We have already completed the histology of esophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. Now we will continue with the histology of vermiform appendix. So those who are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the continuation of this histology classes. Now we have to know what are the similar features of the histology of vermiform appendix with that of the GIT. And the vermiform appendix is a part of the large intestine. So you have to learn how it is similar to the histology of large intestine, how it differs from the histology of large intestine. With this introduction, we will start. Vermiform appendix is a narrow tube 2 centimeter below the terminal end of the ileum, attached to the posteromedial wall of the cecum, and various clock positions of the tip of the vermiform appendix and all you should have learnt in gross anatomy. Now we will see the histology of vermiform appendix. It contains 4 layers. It follows the general pattern of the GIT. 4 layers: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa and serosa. So same 4 layers of GIT is present in the vermiform appendix. We will start with the mucosa. Mucosa epithelium is same as columnar epithelium. So this is the columnar epithelium. If you see under high power, it will be visible as tall columnar cells. Even antigen presenting M cells are present. Glands are few present in the lamina propria. So these are the glands present in the lamina propria. Striking feature of the mucosa of the vermiform appendix is this lymphoid follicles or lymphoid aggregations. So these are the special features of the or the contrast features of the vermiform appendix. Lymphoid follicles are abundant in lamina propria. They extend into the submucosa. So sometimes they extend into the submucosa, large follicles. They extend into the submucosa. When they extend into the submucosa, they break this muscularis mucosae. That is called hiatus muscularis mucosae. So that is about the mucosa, epithelium, lamina propria and the muscularis mucosae. Now we will move on to the submucosa. Before that, what are the cells in the lymphoid follicles? If you see, they have the antigen presenting B cells, antigen presenting B cells, T cells, even plasma cells are present, mast cells are present, macrophages are present. So that's about the mucosa. Now we will see the submucosa is also well developed. So it may contain the lymphoid follicles which may extend from the lamina propria. Muscularis externa, if you see, it contains the inner circular layer. So this is the inner circular layer and outer longitudinal layer. Longitudinal layer is mostly complete, so forming the rudimentary tinea. So that longitudinal layer forms the rudimentary tinea. Both layers are deficient at some places, so that will be called as hiatus muscularis externa. So there is hiatus muscularis mucosa and hiatus muscularis externa. This suggests that this hiatus because of this hiatus muscularis mucosa and muscularis externa, infections of the appendix may be common. So now we will move on to the serosa. Serosa contains subserous connective tissue. So this is the serosa, subserous connective tissue, and it is complete except over the attachment of the mesentery. So this completes the histology of vermiform appendix. Same as histology of GIT, having 4 layers, and it is differing from histology of large intestine, having 2 different or 2 special features: rudimentary tinea and lymphoid follicles, and also the hiatus muscularis mucosae and hiatus muscularis externa. So we have completed this topic. We will see the remaining histology of GIT, the liver, gallbladder and the pancreas in the next class. Those who have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the continuous histology classes and also embryology and gross anatomy lectures.